COVID and lockdowns and quarantines have given me a new appreciation of how special it is to be together with friends and family and gather here in person tonight, and I think all of us feel that way. It's great to be together. This obviously wasn't the initial plan. In an ideal world, I would not be up here giving this toast. Christopher would be. In an ideal world, we would have been at the Union League Club 1 year ago, not here tonight. And Frank and Elizabeth would have been walking here from their apartment downtown. But I think it's somewhat more fitting that we're here on the main line where Frank and Elizabeth grew up and where they plan to spend the rest of their lives. We're here to celebrate the beginning of something I like to call the Mainline Takeover Project.
Who's there? You look so beautiful.
Yeah?
That's the dress. Hi. You look so pretty. Oh, look at that.
What are you
I
doing?
know. It looks amazing.
Hi.
It's been a
It's
while.
Our wedding day.
It's our wedding day. We're here.
We went back and forth about whether to redo the wedding. And I think Frank and Elizabeth went back and forth. They did. We had a beautiful day last year. There were 11 people. We really did it as though it were a proper wedding. We had the cake, we had the photographer, we had the videographers. And the only thing that didn't happen was she didn't get to wear a wedding dress.
The theme for the rehearsal dinner was unrehearsed, unscripted, and under the stars, because it was not a traditional rehearsal dinner, obviously, and it was not scripted. It was anything goes, because that's the way the whole wedding planning went. So I wanted to make it a story about Frank and Elizabeth, and the story of their tonight was all about celebration and love.
If you know Frank, you know that he's adventurous, you know that he's driven to succeed, and you know that he's loyal to a fault. Elizabeth, from the day that I met you, I could instantly tell how happy you make Frank. Your thoughtfulness and generosity shines through with every single encounter.
When you are with Elizabeth, you have her undivided attention. You know that she is spending all of her time and her energy on you. She's generous with her thoughts. She remembers everything. She gives great advice. She's generous with her wisdom and with her love. And I think that's why we're all here tonight, is because Elizabeth's generosity has made an impact on all of us. And she's really the total package, like such a catch. And so.
This is the first couple I've ever set up, so I feel like it's a win if they get married. It's a double win if they get married twice. And her wedding dress is named after me. It's called the Gigi, so I just think I get all of the points.
It's a tremendously special occasion. Could not be more excited to be celebrating y'all's second marriage. And I would just like to raise a glass to the happy newlyweds and wish you guys very many years of marital bliss.
So Elizabeth, we love you dearly. Frank, we love you both. We are so blessed that you're here in Philadelphia selfishly. And so excited to have the DiCicco's as part of our family.
I think, it's been said, we knew very early on that this probably was going to be a thing. I think, early on, even we talked about, and maybe I said more that, I need someone who's going to be able to roll with the uncertainties of life. Having had my experiences, I don't think we ever would have expected what the first year of marriage would be like. We had a very different expectation. We did not expect we would become co-workers. And that we would spend literally 24/7 together for 15 months straight. But truthfully, obviously, I knew that you were the person I was meant to be with the last year. Has only crystallized that. I know you're my perfect partner, and I know that we're going to be ready to take on whatever may lie ahead. It was certainly a challenging first year, but you were always there. Even when I thought that this event might not happen and I wanted to throw in the towel, you were full steam ahead. You knew it was going to work out.
Frankie and Elizabeth, this is the thing that dreams are made of. I love both of them.
Elizabeth was always very keen to see what was going on. She noticed everything. She was always very smart. She wanted to read before she could really walk or talk. She also was the energy in the family from the time she arrived, and she was very close to her brother Jake. And I think so much so that when I was expecting our third child, Jake looked at me, he was 3 or 4 at the time, and he said, "Mom, when the new baby comes, what are we going to do with Elizabeth?" Because he was this look of devastation on her face, like, if we get a new baby, do we have to get rid of her? Because I really like her.
Frank was a firstborn. He was precocious. He talked before he could walk, and he probably was singing before he could walk too. He always was singing. And he was intense and a strong personality, and he remained so. He always liked people. He was an extrovert from the time he was born, and he was up for any adventure. And he still loves people and likes to be in the center of the action.
She has become just a delightful young woman who is full of life and energy and does light up a room when she comes in. So she's really matured into that, and it's really amazing to see.
So Frank and Elizabeth met the old-fashioned way. It was a blind date. It was a fix-up from one of Elizabeth's friends, who Frank also knew. And it was the Assembly's Ball in Philadelphia, as a formal white tie, white glove, old-fashioned kind of event, which my son Frank loves, and had to meet the right girl for that. And so their mutual friend arranged for them to meet, and they just took off from the first date. It was an instant match.
Okay, Dad, you can come in.
Aww.
No tears. No one's crying. Love you, Dad. What do you think? Oh my God.
Good, you look beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Thank
I only have 2 daughters, so you know this is half of the ones I'm giving away in my life. So you look great.
Great.
So happy for you. I will. Hold me up.
I'll carry you down the aisle.
Frank is an anachronism. He really was born the wrong decade. He should have been born in the 50s and 60s. He's an old-fashioned kind of guy. And when he met Elizabeth, she totally appreciates it. She gets it. So in many ways, they are the classic Philadelphia story.
All right, you can turn around.
Gentlemen, thank you for being here. I couldn't have asked for a better group of groomsmen. This is a special day. Never going to forget you guys being here. Wish MK was here, obviously. More importantly, here's to Elizabeth. This is 1991 Port, the year she was born, so a very fine year. So here's to Elizabeth.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers. Tony, thank you. Yeah, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
To see her now on this day really get what every girl who wants to be married kind of dreams about, like your actual wedding day, where you wear your gown and you have this, okay, I'm gonna cry now, have this special day.
Oh, I'm so thankful. Thank you so much, Dad. Love you.
To celebrate just a wonderful, momentous time in life when you marry your partner, and I think they are so well suited and so in love with each other that I am so grateful that we moved forward with this, and I'm just feeling very blessed that we've got a stunning day for July, beautiful. This day is shaping up to be way more than I could have imagined, almost in a much sweeter way.
Family, friends, welcome to the second annual DiCicco wedding celebration. My dad's gonna be unhappy that I'm reading, but there's too much going on today, so I gotta stick to his script. We're here. We made it. This is actually happening. Elizabeth and I began planning for this wedding celebration the moment we were engaged, and it actually might have been the moment before we were engaged, many months before, but I don't want to know about that. And that was on October 18th, 2019, or 21 short months ago, for those keeping score at home. Like all of you, we could never have imagined what 2020 and the beginning of 2021 would have in store for all of us. As recently as early April, we were not sure that this day would ever come, but then, in the blink of an eye, it has arrived. Still, this is not the ceremony we had always envisioned because, as you know, we're already married. Spoiler alert. We were married last June at a COVID-friendly gathering with our immediate families, just around the corner, in fact, and we were able to live stream that to some of you, and we were so delighted that some of you could watch from afar. However, since we've all learned that reruns are not really a thing anymore, we took a page from Netflix and decided we needed some new content for the wedding version 2.0. One silver lining of the pandemic is that it provided an opportunity to reset and reevaluate so many things about our lives. To that end, tonight we are throwing out the rule book. The ceremony you are about to see combines some traditional elements, some fun, creative twists, and yes, some close harmony a cappella singing. Our first year of marriage was eventful, to say the least. A new house, 2 new jobs, becoming full-time co-workers in addition to husband and wife, and too many postponements and changes to this day in our honeymoon that could possibly be repeated here. However, all of these challenges only solidified our partnership and strength as a couple. Even when it looked like this might become a 5-year anniversary party, we knew that someday, somehow, it was important to affirm our love and commitment in front of all of you, our closest family and friends. We are so grateful that this day has finally arrived and that you were willing to throw off your masks to travel here from near and far. We are so grateful for the memories that we've made with each and every one of you and the many more that we know are still to come in the years ahead. But for this moment, right now, after all we have endured together, let's just enjoy this night and this moment that you all have played a role in making happen. For the best of times is truly right now.
Now at this point in the show, ladies and gentlemen, I used to say that if you like what you hear, you can take Frankie home with you in the form of a compact disc, 15 for 1, 2 for 20. But let's be honest, there's only one lucky lady taking Frankie home tonight. So Frank, take it away.
So before the light, hold me again with all of your might in the still of the night. The still of the night. In the still of the night. Whoa, in the still of the night, yeah, yeah. Ooh, ooh, in the still of the night.
And I want you, Frank, to repeat after me. In the name of God, I, Frank.
In the name of God, I, Frank,
take you, Elizabeth,
take you, Elizabeth,
to be my wife,
to be my wife,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
until we are parted by death.
until we are parted by death.
This is my solemn vow.
This is my solemn vow.
And Elizabeth, will you repeat after me? In the name of God,
In the name of God,
I, Elizabeth,
I, Elizabeth,
take you, Frank,
take you, Frank,
to be my husband,
to be my husband,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
until we are parted by death.
until we are parted by death.
This is my solemn vow.
This is my solemn vow.
I want to thank you all for coming to celebrate the recommitment of Frank and Elizabeth's wedding vows. And as many people have already mentioned, 2020 was a challenging year for a lot of people with the COVID situation. For those who don't know me, I'm very optimistic. So in the spirit of making lemonade out of lemons, I think there were some fun things that came out of COVID for us. So the first was that Elizabeth and Frank would not have been in our area if it had not been for COVID. She would have moved to Boston, had her job. Frank would have followed her to Boston, I think, and we would not have them in our area. Secondly, that gives us a chance to have the first year of their wedding basically in our backyard, and we've had so many fun experiences with them. And the third thing that has been great about COVID is something I preach to my kids all the time, which is delayed gratification. So we would like to have had this happen last year for everybody, but it didn't happen. But it is happening now, and delayed gratification is wonderful. It teaches us lots to be thankful for.
The novelist Owen Wister described his friend, the jurist Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr., as an aristocrat in morals and in mind. And that's the quote I will take as a motto for this toast, because I believe it could just as well have been written about Frank. An aristocrat in morals. Frank's virtues are the old virtues: loyalty, duty, love, kindness, generosity. An aristocrat in mind. Frank's intellect is, of course, obvious from his resume. But Frank's erudition is not limited to his success professionally, but rather to a broader sense of the liberal arts. And he has an insatiable curiosity for the world, a love of travel, even daring a few years back to travel to North Korea. Not something I would do.
So what I've kind of learned observing my parents over the last 20 years of my life is a couple of things that you know, but I'm just gonna recap for those that don't. Your wife is the smartest person you've ever met, I guarantee. So she's always right. Never miss a date night. Don't be late. Bring flowers.
But I love the motto, an aristocrat in morals as in mind, not just for how well it describes Frank, but because of the way in which Frank's life echoes that of the author, Owen Wister. Wister was born in Germantown, not far from here. He attended Harvard, where he was a member of the Porcellian Club. He then spent 2 years in Paris before deciding to return to law school. After law school, he moved back to Philadelphia, joined the Philadelphia Club, and then quit the legal profession. So far, pretty much so good. He then married his cousin. There, he and Frank thankfully diverge, I think, unless there's something I'm missing.
Never stop like holding each other's hands. It's the dumbest thing, but no couple that's in love is not holding their hands. Nobody walks down the street with someone that they love and they're not holding their hand. And probably the most important lesson I've ever learned from our parents: be a unit, decide decisively and just go with it. So I love you both, and congratulations.
Elizabeth, I have known Frank since we were 18, and I can assure you that truer hearts than Frank's do not exist. He is loyal, he is good, he is a true friend, he is a loving son, a loving brother, and he is and will be a devoted husband and father. He is truly an aristocrat in morals and in mind. And I know that since the first day he met you at the Constable's, from your first date to go see A Star is Born, and from your debut as a couple at Assemblies, he's been in love with you. Elizabeth, Frank, I love you both. Congratulations.
We come to the highlight of the program. You may kiss your bride for the second or third time.
I think they're a little bemused to be living out here in the main line, you know, where they were born. I see them really supporting each other in their careers. I think Elizabeth is a wonderful partner for Frank. I think he really struck gold when he met her. It's wonderful.
From a runaround Sue, oh, I miss the lips and the smile on her face, the touch of her hair and this girl's warm embrace. So if you don't wanna cry like I do, I keep away from a runaround Sue. I still like to travel around. She love you, but she put you down. I told people let me put you to wild. Oh, Sue goes out with other guys. Here's the moral of the story from a guy who knows. And I fell in love and my love still grows. Ask any fool that she ever knew. run around Sue. Whoa. Keep away from the girl. I just don't know what she'll do. Keep away from Sue. What do you think, guys? Keep away from a runaround Sue. Whoa. Keep away from that girl. I just don't know what she'll do. Keep away from Sue. There he is. Yeah. You know your love keeps lifting me. Keeps on lifting me. Lifting me higher and higher. Clap your hands. Your love keeps lifting me, keeps on lifting me, lifting me higher and higher. I can't hear you. Your love keeps lifting me, keeps on lifting me higher and higher. Everybody, come on. You know your love keeps lifting me, keeps on lifting me higher and higher and higher. Your love keeps lifting me. Keeps on lifting me higher and higher and higher. One more time. Your love keeps lifting me, keeps on lifting me higher and higher and higher. Your love keeps lifting me, keeps on lifting me higher and higher. This man's got it. Thank you, Frank.